Well, Mirage fell worryingly flat for B8, and now they head to the home ground of 9 in Vertigo. The pressure of the world on their back. Elimination from ESL Talent Elite Season 45 is on the cards. They cannot turn their fortunes around. Trying to do so on 1 of 9. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, if we thought Mirage was difficult, I think Vertigo can only be tougher here for B8, as 9 are one of the best teams out there, really, on this map, judging by the teams that they're able to put down time and time again, and they've found their way straight on towards A with this execute. There's a ton of nades, though, so a little bit of damage at least being done. Slight delay on that bomb plant, and a couple of players heavily tagged up here for the retake, but it's going to be a 5-on-5 either way. And smoke and a flash, a kit here for that CT side to work with. They're going to need to get a move on.
Ye olde Vertigo this. 5v5 after plant. Kylarro's been boosted up on a very odd angle here. They're looking for it though, and Kalash, very aware of the possibility, has found a gift, and now they're going to charge on in 2-3 in quick succession. They've demolished this pistol round before it's even come to pass. KEiiiii caught with his teammate killed by the rotation. Kalash with a monstrous triple kill to open things up, and that is one hell of a way to put down a statement round on Vertigo.
Yeah, I mean, coming to life, a smooth retake as well. 9 did get the bomb plant though, so kind of the riskiness of the second round force buy that we mentioned back on Mirage, which wasn't able to happen this time around, it will happen. You have a couple of Galils. They have though prioritized slightly more towards the utility, and I think that's understandable because they are a very strong Vertigo team, so you'd imagine they have some great utility, some great executes rather in the back pocket. Got slightly thrown off by that ridiculous kill there from KEiiiii. We didn't get to see it from his perspective, but we did see Captain Kurtka's body going into a bit of a backflip, and yeah, that's not the start I don't think B8 were hoping for here in this round. The Galil and the Mac-10 here focused around on mid as well. If they can even get a 1-for-1 trade on this player that's playing a pretty wide angle, then that would be trouble for B8. So yeah, it's a good thing he backed off just as the molly goes down as well. Problem is he's forced to give up mid, and they're just going straight into this B-split. KEiiiii with the initial kill, spins around to help Goofy out on the second. And Wrinkle and Amster, surely at this point, they're forced towards a save. They have 2 M4s that are not going to have any chance in a 2-on-5 retake, but could be very useful in this next round.
That's going to be the scariness of 9 on Vertigo. A little bit of magic from KEiiiii to open up, sure, but a very swiftly and very brutally executed play into that B site. Amster deals with KEiiii's on the lurk, and Wrinkle does well to grab another. They're going to keep hunting these down. They know the financial situation is more important to the CTs than it is to them. Kylarro and Minio. Minio deals with 1. Amster will have to show his hand and runs out of ammo at the critical moment. Everything stripped away from B8 in round number 2. T-side aware that CT economy, when you get the pistol and lose the conversion, is nightmare fuel. It does not stand up to questioning. And as we get through these highlights and get back to looking at that buy, it is going to be desperately ugly. I mean, you've got Deagles across the board, but look at what 9 are bringing to the party. 2 AKs, a saved M4A1. KEiiii's and KEiiiii, the only players making sacrifices, and they're still on a Galil and a Mac-10, still perfectly serviceable weapons. Get past this, it's the eco to follow, and 9 straight back to their Mirage ways on here on Vertigo.
I mean, not a great force play here for B8, but they had some very skilled players, so I'm not going to count the Deagles out. At the very least, though, I need them to put in some damage in this round, take some of these rifles out of the hands of 9, and just keep the pressure on, because if 9 start to feel as comfortable as they did on Mirage, then this is going to be smooth sailing, I would imagine. There we go. Yeah, as I said, clearly they have capable players. Amster was actually struggling on Mirage, so for him to be coming alive here in the early stages of Vertigo could be a decent sign. KEiiiii, I think the timing is going to be awkward here if they start to push around as well. Never mind, he spins around, had KEiiii's watching as well, and actually doesn't get to take any of the kills. KEiiiii steals them all on the Galil. 3 smooth headshots.
I don't think they'll be too fussed about the kill steals. KEiiiii will now go hunting.
Would have been nice to get a little on the Mac-10 though. He invested heavily, he's only got 300 in the bank. He wanted to split with him.
Goofy's the key here. He's going to hold for the rifle, and the timing is absolutely horrendous. So he'll get killed for free, and that's 2 AKs now. Both of the invested rifles ripped away. Got to imagine KEiiii's going to go for a little bit of a hunt here, and you wouldn't blame 9 if they sent a bit more at it as well, but with that bomb already halfway ticked, I'm not entirely sure they're going to be able to find these rifles. Hades, this is a tough angle to fight into. I think he just saw the shoulder there. As Kalash looks to hide, buy himself a little more time, works back into the angles. Hades gets the better of him. Owner at this point, just going to keep hidden. Try and hold on to that AK-47. He can drop his deagle across to a teammate. If only he could stay alive, but KEiiiii is having none of it. And again, sure, you lose a couple of AKs to the deagles, but Nine make absolutely sure that B8 are forced to pay. Everything is stripped away from them. The full eco surely to follow. And that T side's looking to get rolling very, very early on here.
It really did look like KEiiiii could have taken any one of those kills. Like, if you didn't have the kill feed, you're just like, damn, he mowed down those 3 players. He does go straight onto the rifle either way, so it's not too much of a hindrance. They have a solid economy on the T side, and it's going to be B8 who stuck on USPs for the moment, so it's only going to be the T side building that economy even further. A couple nice kills actually coming in from Captain KEiiiii. An AK maybe to be recovered. The nade actually helps him get it a little bit quicker, if anything, so not bad. They can even get one more kill here, then this round will be fantastic. I mean, potentially win it for sure, but the damage that's been done already, and Goofy down to 10 health now as well. Wrinkle with an AK as well in his possession. Unfortunately, the bomb's going to go down, of course, in the meantime, but one more kill right now makes this worthwhile. But no, Minio handles it. He had crept all the way around A. Should have an upgrade to an AK, indeed he does. And Nine take that 3-1 lead, but B8 have given themselves a chance to potentially come alive here off the back of this first gun round. There'll be a little bit of money left over for Nine, sure, but it's not as good as it was looking like it was going to be.
Yeah, they've consistently found a couple of picks. It was something they really struggled to do on Mirage as well, so it's good to see it coming through.
Yeah, I think there was 3 players on 0 kills until like the second gun round or something, right?
Yeah, it was really rough. Mirage was nightmare fuel, so just getting those opening kills, a couple of nice picks, a couple of nice deagle shots, right, build the confidence. Through the smoke now, trying to take the fight early as Wrinkle, punished for it though. Captain KEiiiii can't really afford to commit off the back of that. Teammate goes down. Sure, it's a lot of damage done onto KEiiiii, but with the man advantage now there, you can see Nine just starting to pull the rotations around from this CT side. Mid control now almost entirely conceded. Kalash just trying to make sure there's no kind of funky business on this flank. Gives himself the headshot angle. Goofy doesn't spot it. Should be a free trade, and indeed he is. So 4 on 4. This is looking a little bit better now. Almost immediately, though, Hades looks to put that to the sword, and the trades start to come in all over the shop. They want to work this A ramp 9, and they've got a little bit of space to do so.
Yeah, and quite a bit of time as well. Still just under a minute on that clock, so really right now B8 aren't 100% sure of what's going to be going on. They are still taking the risk, though, to heavily rotate this over towards Ado, so they've made the right decision. There's not really any smokes or anything to go down. Nine will just straight up need to win these fights as the pushes come in, and unfortunately Owner is here waiting for them to assist Amster. They just shut it down. KEiiiii, I was going to say, on low health already, but he hits a quick headshot to give himself some hope. Both of these players are waiting on the bomb site. One up close, Kalash actually going to go down pretty quick indeed, but he doesn't expect Owner playing that headshot angle. It's 3-2. It is B8 who finds some life here in their first gun round, and up even recovered to be thrown over to Wrinkle, it looks like. There's still economy. Pressure still on.
Good round to find. I mean, it goes down to the last man, sure, but an opportunity now. Showing a bit more life on their CT side. Rifles will come out for 9. There's no AWP for Hades, and if this one goes wrong, it's bad. Down to the eco. Much more promising position if 9 can break. B8 here, though. It just starts to flip right back on its head. It's going to be a question of this round, a crucial swing in the context of the early moments of this first half. Not an ideal buy for the CT side either by any means, but Captain KEiiiii making the most of it. Up close and personal. Minio dealt with. Rifle recovered. Utility dumped down as well to make sure the trade can't come through, and that's the most promising position B8 have found themselves in a while. A man advantage found early, not too much damage taken, and able to retreat to the relative safety of the site as well. This is a perfect start.
It alleviates some of that pressure of having a couple weaker weapons and maybe not having all the nades they'd want. Nine do again at least still have this control around ramp, but they don't know what's going on B. No one's gone aggressive. They don't know that, though, so they are likely to come in with a commitment here pretty soon. Captain KEiiiii playing ahead of these smokes, hoping to be able to put in a couple of kills as the push comes through, but it is going to be the split around through the alley as well, so this is actually going to be tough to deal with. Thankfully, Wrinkle is here to assist. Doesn't matter though, he seems to be the only player who
Oh.
finds even a glimpse of success for B8 as the site is just overrun. Kalash held off by the smokes, can't do anything, there's no nades to put in damage, the bomb goes down, and although Kylarro there was pretty damaged, he emerges from the smoke and just rips off Kalash's head. Owner, the second he shows himself, also takes a bullet to the skull. He's lucky enough though to survive and at least have the choice of saving an M4.
Again, slightly concerning moments there for BA. I mean, we saw it in the second round into that B site, right? Just collapsed in on it and demolished it on entry. 9 this time over towards A. Despite losing a man early, I think Captain Kirk is going to regret playing ahead of that smoke. He's punished for it early, then his teammate tries to jump up on the headshot boxes to trade that, but he's got a FAMAS and there's 3 players staring him down. At that point, it's just the AWP on site and he's just got too many angles to hold. So very quickly, the house of cards falls down around B8. And as we said, as much as that was an opportunity for the CT side to break 9, get them onto the eco, start to build your first half, the inverse is absolutely true. Owners saved M4A1 is going to be just about the only thing B8 can bring to this round, with a 2,400 loss bonus as well. This is starting to go bad almost already. You know, you're starting to look at this and go, okay, this is 5-9. You've got to imagine we'll be able to fight out double digits. Realistically, that T side is looking lethal. And they're not letting up here either.
Yeah, both of these teams do lean a bit towards the T side, but 9 a little bit more so as the tower on B there collapses. Take out the foundations and the rest of it comes crumbling down. Nice little pile of bodies on top of the box there. Only answer left, he has an M4 and, well, he's not going to be able to utilize it to any effect, unfortunately. 5 players left standing there. It's a clean round from 9. There was the little bit of investment as well that didn't work out, but it was only the saved weapon even, so they didn't really put anything into it. So I suppose it's not too bad, but it's always going to hurt that you're allowing the T side to again establish an economy here. They have enough in the reserve for another buy. So again, it falls to B8 needing 2 or 3 gun rounds in a row to really crack their way through.
Yeah, that's the concern, isn't it? If you could have gone again, as we've sort of seen from B8 a couple of times, take 2 rifles away, take 3 rifles away, make it a little bit painful still, even if you're struggling on the utility, struggling on the firepower. Give the T something to think about, keep their economy steady. Instead, a flawless round alleviates almost all of the financial pressure from this T side early. Captain Kirk desperate to get out of dodge, knowing he was tagged up super heavy by the early nades. To be fair, KEiiiii is not in a particularly healthy way either, playing up by the sandbags, flashed into the angle beautifully by Hades though, and now playing the headshot boxes to brilliant extent, gets 2 out of his life before the nade trades it down. And that's both the high HP players on A. Little do the T side know, they have pretty much gutted the A hold. They are actually going to look to double back and potentially take this over towards B, so could be making it a little difficult for themselves. We'll have to wait and see.
Potentially. I mean, 9, no matter what they do, if they just use their numbers, they should be fine, but they sent 2 of them up the stairs over towards B, and as you said, that could backfire as Owner lines them up. The bomb as well, I don't know if he is aware fully that it's in his possession. It's below the stairs, so it is slightly out of view, but it doesn't matter. He's standing his ground, drops Goofy, who didn't expect him to go for any further aggression. And now Hades is left all alone. A very capable offer, sure, but it's a 1-on-3 he shouldn't have much hope in. And there we go, B8 again. Welcome back to the scoreboard.
That's a huge misfire from 9.
Yeah.
Just completely misread the situation, right? They got 2 picks over towards A. They were in a 4-on-3. Should have been a simple matter, as you said, of using the numbers, converging, getting the job done instead. Allowing themselves to be lined up over towards B. That's then bombed down in no man's land. The lurking players nowhere near close enough to support. Reinvestment almost completely from 9. So another opportunity for BA. Break the bank here. You can make something of this CT side on Vertigo.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising, even though it's still a kind of struggled some initial few rounds here for B8. They're still looking better than they did on Mirage, which was their own choice. 9, as we said, are an incredibly strong Vertigo team, so I think if they can give them a run for their money even here, I would be impressed. Obviously, though, they want more. They want to make this a 3-map series. They want to bring it to Nuke, where B8 themselves do look quite comfortable.
Worth mentioning, perhaps, that both of these teams lean T-sided on Vertigo.
Yeah, 9 a little bit more so.
Yeah, so maybe, you know, starting to shut them down, starting to see some promising signs from B8. If they can get 6 or 7, can't imagine they'd be relatively happy with that. And at least this time, they've not leaked out any early picks. Still 5-on-5 with 55 seconds left. And finally, they find their opening. Kalash keen in towards middle, deals with Goofy. And the man advantage found. Again, B8 doing a good job of being proactive on the CT side, finding their openings, finding their marks. What's the counter from 9?
I mean, most of the times that they've come down into a position where they have that man disadvantage, they just converge on the ramp and go for the A execute.
Looking for it again.
Tends to have been the go-to plan, and as you said, that is indeed the case once again. And missed shot on the op for Wrinkle could cost them everything, as KEiiiii is just cleaning up on the bomb site. He is the one who can open that lock, apparently. Very obvious fun had to go for it, as the nade actually at least denies the bomb plant for the moment, and there's not a lot of time. 10 seconds. If they can converge on this planter, they could put a stop to this. KEiiiii needed the plant, but he didn't go for it. Instead, he unfortunately leaves KEiiiii in a position where the best he can hope for is an op save. He needed to just trust KEiiii's there to hold him off.
I think he was caught a little off guard by how much time was left, right? I think he thought that he had time to swing wide, get a kill and go back, but just not enough time on the clock to be risking that kind of a play. Big HE coming in. 9 almost immediately called the timeout. That's a couple of rounds on the trot now where they've gone in with a man advantage and then just slowly let it slip away. So clearly a little concerned about that. The saved AWP as well. It's a little awkward that he actually manages to save it because it forces that T side almost to reinvest into this one when they don't want to, because KEiiii's economy becomes so disconnected that, yeah, they've got to give it a go. With the 2,400 loss bonus and the save they would have had otherwise, they could have full bought into the next. Instead, it's a little bit scrambled. It's the AWP into KEiiii's hands. Kylarro and KEiiiii get the rifles. Minio and Goofy relegated to tech, so expect something a little bit swifter out of them.
Yeah, 9 seem to be the ones who are willing to take a few more risks. They have more plans, more plays in the back pocket as well, as we said, with the amount of reps they have here on Vertigo, so willing to put it in with a buy like this, where there is a lot of weaknesses. They'll be relying on KEiiii's up to maybe open things up, and honestly, he's lucky to have his life right now. Oh, the spam from Captain Kurtka. I think we'll go with Kurtka from now on, it's a little bit shorter. I presume everyone knows he's a captain.
And advantage found. I mean, the techs have managed to find a backstab, though. This is huge. Minio and Goofy are both looking to hunt this AWP. It's a leg out of Wrinkle. Needs the rifle to support and does very well to do so. Goofy only a solitary kill. That flank looked like it could have been good for a lot more than that. Bomb is on KEiiii's back as well, which is not the player you want to give it to. That AWP's going to have to commit itself to the plant, commit itself to sight, and now they'll start to converge. The sound cues are heard. KEiiii's knows he's got to try and get out of dodge as quickly as he can, get himself into some kind of an afterplant position. Teammate is strung out to dry close up. Kylarro, a lot to do, very little space to achieve it. Flashed off his angle, dealt with immediately. KEiiii's thrust into a 1v4, does well to even get one on the flick up, but the trade is immediate. B8 level things out at 5 apiece, and they are starting to find their feet here. This CT side is starting to click, as it looks like the half-buy will have to be called by 9, and an opportunity again. These teams are both T-sided, remember. A lead on your CT half would be huge for B8.
Yeah, this is a fantastic recovery, and really they've just come to life out of nowhere. We said chaining rounds together had eluded them throughout this entire series so far, but it's happened now, and I think it's because some mistakes have begun to creep in for 9. Silly little mistakes that we didn't see on Mirage, and I think that are coming true because of a perhaps overconfidence towards the start of this map. So again, they're left with pistols and Kevlar. Decent utility at the very least. They have a little bit there to try something with. But this should be B8's round, and if they can take it without too much trouble, without losing too many players, as you said, they're setting themselves up for a very good CT side, as Owner is the one here to try and stop them from inching their way forward onto B. He has been fantastic so far for B8 throughout the series, but he's only able to get the one. Delayed at least enough for Kalash to get in position, but the trades are continuous for 9. They've got control of this bomb site. They've got some rifles to work with. And I think they've got B8 on the back foot now. Oh yeah, they don't quite have it ready.
They're not sure about this. They want more kills before they commit to the bomb. Goofy's going to go over the top and grab another. Surely Minio now works his way up. 3 on 2.
He's maybe?
I think he might have a tech issue here.
Yeah.
He's stuck. I mean, you have to imagine he's
done.
taken the site. That's huge. It brings it to a 2-on-2. I mean, you can see even B8 are starting to second guess this. They're starting to think that maybe the bomb has worked its way round towards A. And if they can't get Minio back, they're going to have to take these fights. It's going to have to be a straight-up brawl. Amster gets one. Hades is forced to team kill Minio. Oh, no. Forced to take that kill. That just dismantles the round. B8 have their 6th, and they are very fortunate to do so. That is brutal for 9. That should have been the steal. That should have been the perfect opportunity to get back into this one. And instead, a little bit of tech issues. Minio DCs. And from there, the whole round just falls apart around them. Tech pause is called, as hopefully we'll be getting Minio back in shortly.
Yeah, very rough time for him to drop out right there. Honestly, I'm surprised one of them didn't just go back and shoot him in the head. Goofy was continuing to push and get kills. The other player went back.
It's one of those ones where I wonder if Minio's internet dropped. Because I feel like if he crashes, he calls it to his teammates, right? They kill him early, and they get that bomb up. I wonder if because of the confusion, Minio's dropped out entirely.
Yeah.
And they're like screaming, right? They're going, Minio, bring the bomb! We've got the site! And he's just sat there, you know, oblivious to it all.
Yeah, there's only so many curvas you can throw in his direction before you realise he's not there, though, so...
Well, unfortunately, this one does seem like a bit of an extended tech pause, so we are going to throw it to a break while we get it fixed. Hopefully we'll be back soon.
There's fire in the atmosphere, moving in synergy, this electricity, the power of the pioneers, tearing through history, this is our destiny. We are the power, we are the change, we are pioneers of paradise and fame, and we push it louder like hurricanes. We are the pioneers, we are the pioneers.
Well, we are back into the action. 9 perhaps disappointed not to win the previous half by, given the tech issues happened in the middle of it. But they will get their rifles out again. No AWP once more for Hades. AKs across the board. B8 looking to put up a real defense on their CT side. They have the lead and they won't be giving it up easy.
No, not at all. I mean, if they can come out with 8 or 9 rounds on the CT side, then I'd say they're in the driver's seat and definitely have a chance of stealing this away and again putting themselves into the series, because Nuke as a map looks statistically strong for both of these teams. I think it would be a banger of a decider. Our hope that it was going to get that far after how Mirage turned out was quite low, so B8, they can prove us wrong, that would be fantastic. And obviously, since this is the lower bracket, it'd be great for them, keep them in the tournament. We go though, creeping up ramp. Looks like they want a bit of a quicker play based off the contact here. KEiiiii's already taking a bit of nade damage, but they do catch Amster smoke in hand. A little bit of damage dealt out before he drops it, hoping now to just stay alive in behind that smoke and maybe do some damage as they push forward. They just swarmed the bomb site though, but they had forgotten about Kurtka, who was still in a position around on the alley there. I think he pushed in behind them, managed to get himself a kill, and is now just going to be a massive nuisance from the sandbags.
Perfect position to play in. So difficult to clear out. No Molotov for the T side either. They're conscious of so many different positions. Flank is a distinct possibility and starts to come through for Owner. Hades, whilst he trades for one, takes a lot of damage in the process. And his position now known. He's got to try and speed things up. Gets caught in the backstab. Lovely stuff from B8. Holding off against the pressure of Nine's T side. And this one is starting to get really dangerous now for Nine. They're going to call another pause here as they look at their economy and realize once again they're only going to be on the techs at best. They haven't got the finances behind them. Their T side is starting to buckle in a major way. B8 have gone from down bad to having at least a buy in the back pocket here, and that is a huge win. When again you consider both of these teams are T-sided, both of these teams have been looking to rack things up on their T side. Instead, it's B8 putting up a stellar defense on the CT side and potentially setting themselves up to take this to 3 maps.
Yeah, it's looking like a real possibility when it wasn't just a few rounds ago. It was 5-2 at one point for Nine. You believe. My memory's terrible, which it is, but pretty sure I'm correct. Either way. Yeah, well, yeah, because they have the full loss bonus going now, so... Is the case. With that, they do at least have an AK and some Tech 9s here to work with, but they're back and forth between the full investment and the half investments. It's allowing B8 to continue racking up the CT side, and right now we're on track for what is beginning to look like it might even be the 10-5. Pistol round was then to go the way of B8, things would be looking almost over for Nine, so they cannot let that happen. Even one more on this T side too, I think they're at least in a decent position, considering they do play this map so much. I still think they'll probably have the stronger of the 2 CT sides.
Look at a group on the ramp this time. Again, just keeping it simple, nothing particularly technical about this. They are going to be faced, though. Amster and Captain Kurtka well positioned to deal with it. Wrinkle available on the alleyway as they edge their way up here. Clearing the sandbag seems to be quite low on their priority list as the nades start to come out. They're heard. Hades and Minio, though, able to find a killer piece, and KEiiiii's Deagle once again contribute, and this is more like it from Nine. The fast-paced pops into the site seem to be what are getting them the overwhelming majority of their rounds here. So quick on entry, and almost immediately you can see B8 want nothing to do with this. Already backing away, already thinking long-term with the rifles for the save. That is what we expect from Nine on Vertigo. Lethal in their execution.
Yeah, but that's been missing for pretty much this entire map so far. Even the rounds they were getting earlier on, as we had said, we were seeing B8 putting in a lot of damage, and it was costly most rounds for Nine. And that wasn't something that was really happening back on Mirage, so we were surprised. Then they came alive once they got the guns and just hadn't really looked back until this moment. Now I think they'll be a little worried, considering the economy is not fantastic. Gives Nine an opportunity here to potentially still head up towards 8 and retain at least a slight lead on their T side, which again is what both of these teams will be looking for.
Huge opportunity here, as you said. 2 rounds left in the half. Economy at absolute breaking point for B8. Nine get this one. They're almost guaranteed lead. Should be something they would desperately covet, given how, as you said, back and forth this T-side's been. Moments of brilliance. Things have gone wrong more often than not. with the pressure on, they're going to try a pop this time out towards B. Nice flashbang in. KEiiiii takes full advantage. Kalash, the next player to try and provide some resistance, but again, the utility stellar, the damage huge. He's going to try and swarm in early. KEiiiii's good for it though, and Amster, already tagged up in the opening engagement, drops back. That HE should get him one, and indeed it does, but I'm not sure that's going to be enough. Doesn't feel like it'll convince them to commit. 9 seemingly having just tightened things up a little bit here. That's 2 on the trot with a fast-paced play. The utility over the top has been good. I think just leaning on the fundamentals of their Vertigo, right? This is a map, as we've said, they play a hell of a lot. 22 times in the last 3 months. They win 91% of those engagements. It's a map they're confident on. It's a map they're well drilled on. And I think we're starting just to see them lean back on those fundamentals, right? The trades weren't quite going right. The lurk plays weren't quite going right. Fine, we've got executes into both sites in the back pocket, both fast-paced plays. That time, everyone was blind on the B site. Nobody could see a damn thing. Gets them up to 7 apiece. A 3-man save, though, does mean this last round is by no means a done deal.
No, not at all. I think they hit a point where they kind of realized they were maybe overcomplicating things a little bit, especially those early rounds where they were getting advantages, and then obviously the 4-on-3 I think they lost when they tried to go back towards B, lined up for owner and such. Clearly, as you said, where they get things done best is when they keep it fairly simple and just play out the basics, which they're very efficient at on this map. 7-7, we're tied back up again, back and forth. This is what we wanted to see. We wanted a competitive game. We just didn't really expect it to be Vertigo of the first 2 maps that we'd get it on. How has Owner gotten himself a knife? Sadly, he doesn't get to hang on to his life with it, and the advantage, I was going to say, sits with 9, but it's going to be traded back. Wrinkle, though, in a precarious position. Does escape thanks to the assistance from Amster.
I think he's gone down the mid ladder, you know? That's where most of the crosses are. I think that must be the position it's come from. The problem is, in this 3-on-3, it's a heavy-handed A stack, and it has left the B player desperately vulnerable here. KEiiiii's going to catch a freebie as he's looking to rotate between timings. Bomb will go down. Wrinkle and Amster, their positions known out towards A. Will be watched on entry. Goofy up close and personal. The first hurdle. Nice Molotov goes in. Forces him wide, but he's having none of that nonsense. 1 to his name already. Takes Amster down to 8 HP. The trades will be good, and it will be 9 with a late recovery to take 8 as we head to the halftime.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
I'm doing everything he doesn't do, but I'm still not enough. Even your parents know I'm good for you, but I'm still not enough. You wanna be done with him, you're stuck with him, cause you don't have the guts. And after all I've done, I'm still not enough. Still at your place, trying to make it okay. He's miles away. Left here, reuse it. That you just need someone carrying
A narrower lead than perhaps expected for 9 as they head to the CT side of their map pick of Vertigo. 8-7. B8 run them the distance and keep it very competitive headed into this second half pistol. Certainly feels like it's all to play for, Dean.
Definitely. I mean, I did not think we'd be at a point here at the halftime where we're unsure of who's going to come out on top of this game. So it is definitely a fight from B8 that's being put up, but it's going to be a struggle if this pistol doesn't go their way. And Goofy with these dual Berettas is making a havoc already over towards those B-stairs. Big kill, some damage. A second set of dual Berettas in the hands of KEiiiii, and on mid is going to help him just shut things down with the assistance from Minio. As B8 has just walked into a blender. They haven't even gotten a kill. They've barely dealt any damage, and well, they're just the final player there is swarmed as well. It's a bit of confidence being built back up for 9, which was severely lacking throughout that T side, I've got to say. At least until the final few rounds.
Yeah, a bit of a tough pill to swallow, that one. DT side just seemed to have a read on exactly what was coming before it even came through. Goofy spotting out 2, spotting out Bomb as well as he gets the initial kill down that ramp, gives him a lot of room to work with. Pistol on their back. No bomb plant for B8 means this one is going to be the Glock show. No investment at all across that T side, which makes this round spectacularly dull to watch into, but should just be a matter of these M4s chewing things up. Minio on the MP9. Where's he at? He's actually over towards mid, so not going to get much of an opportunity to have impact here. M4A1, though, a little dangerous to go that close and personal. He playing a dangerous game, but he's got the dualies, as I forgot. He's got more ammo than those than he's got in his M4A1, so it's easy.
That was the play. He's like, you know what? He teases them. He's like, look at this. I've got an M4 up close and personal. Look close to me. Look, try and swarm me. And then he's got dual Berettas to deal with that. 10-7 for 9. It was definitely a bit of a risky play, though, but I think they wanted to show this confidence in the early stages here. We might even see them temper it off a little bit now coming into this first gun round, where they'll maybe put down some similar utility, but they probably won't go as aggressive with it. They'll allow B8 to use what is already limited utility themselves to ensure that they don't get pushed on once again, and just run things down in the early moments. Yeah, that looks to be pretty much the case. As you can see, KEiiiii is putting in the bullets and such, but he's not going to be going as far forward. Happy to sit back and just make them think that he could again be up close in this corner, that he could be waiting with a flash from a teammate or something along those lines. Just waste some seconds here in the early moments.
Force them to clear the corner with util as well as they come up. As you said, these kind of buys a little rough around the edges, so anything you can bleed out of them early, always going to be a positive, as we see them now starting to line up their ramp take. He is going to start thinking about the aggression, thinking about the angles. That's got a little bit of util there, as there's the team flash. Backs out of the situation, though, just as this T side looked to swarm. There's the early pick for Hades, and he's well set with his teammate. Combines beautifully for a 3-piece. With only the one trade found, this round once again feels like it's just been gutted. Potentially half a gap, though. They might have found the one break in the armor here. Kylarro, playing out of heaven, is playing the shoulder peak, will concede the site. Looks to deny perhaps the bomb plant at this point as he plays around the generators. Counter util comes in. Molotov to try and flush them into the open. Kylarro gets the freebie. And Owner at this point, I mean, he's been a hero for B8, but this is going to take something truly special. And he can only get the first. Cleaned up by 9 once again. 11 on the board. That CT side starting just as strong as their T did.
Yeah, and I mean, they're willing to take some risks here as well, which is what you want to see from them. They kind of took that approach that I was saying early on, where they bled down the bit of utility, then they forced B8 by the time they are finally coming into some of those fights. They pretty much take them dry because they don't have any flashes left. They don't have too many smokes or mollies and such that they can just waste. They want to keep those for once they're ready to hit the bomb sites themselves. So they're caught off guard by those fights coming through around the gap to the smokes and such. It's just a nice little team play from 9. Hades.
Faster this time.
Be dangerous. A lot of nade damage goes in at the very least, but there were some Tech 9s up close and personal there that worried me.
Always a scary prospect, and they're waiting it out as well. Just a delayed pop in, hoping maybe to catch a reload timing. Hades is thinking about the push up as well. This is dangerous. He gets one, needs to get out of dodge swiftly though, playing the headshot angle. Those techs are clinical. Gets away with it. Able to retreat to the relative safety again of that site. A little bit of wallbang damage comes through, just chipping away at these techs before they can get into a position to do too much work. There's the smoke. And up the alleyway they will start to head. 2 players spotted out. KEiiiii looks to bait and switch for his teammate. Minio's got them on the ramp push though, and this is a demolition job. Wrinkle, a solitary kill on entry, and that is it. 9 dispatch of the half by, brutally so. Gap now at 5, and they built themselves back up that comfort zone, right? That T side was a little sketchy, a little back and forth, but a clean start to their CT half, and they built themselves up a nice little buffer.
Yeah, doing so in a solid fashion as well. This is looking a bit more like the 9 that we had back on Mirage. We did say they were T-sided, but they've also just played this map so damn much that they must have a good CT side as well, considering they've only lost it twice. And one of those, again, was in a double overtime against Astralis. So if you're putting in solid enough CT sides to compete with Astralis, then I think you're okay. But right now, anyway, it's a gun round that BA have to win if they want any hope of beginning to salvage a T side of their own. It's a double peak though on mid that's set up. I like the 2 different angles, unfortunately though. BA had a lot more presence, so they're able to trade it out and come out with at least a 3-on-3 for the moment, which is not bad for the
Really
T side,
good.
especially so early on.
Yeah. I'd argue it's a really good trade. In fact, you can see the CT defense is now rather strung out. Couple of players working their way over towards B. And it is just Hades here. The one hero AWP to get it all done, and the timing on that angle is so nasty. Does well to get one on the recovery. Falls back to the relative safety of the generators. Bides his time, calls for the rotation. They'll clear out mid for him and confirm that he can keep his eyes on this bomb site. Plenty of angles to choose from. Hades can't land the shot though. Now he's in trouble. Still alive and kicking, but the Molotov is surely to come at any second. There it is. Now he's smoked off, but his teammates are here. He's bought the time. As much as he misses the shot, he stays alive for long enough. Kylarro on the flank. KEiiiii from heaven. 13 for 9. Despite these early trades, perhaps not the most ideal thing in the world, it's beautifully recovered again. You can just see the CT side are so well drilled in how to play this.
Yeah, and that's when you can afford to have those couple misses like Hades did, because he's just being such a nuisance, staying alive, allowing a rotation to begin to come in as well, and just wasting so much time as they're trying to deal with him that they can't even get in on that bomb plant securely. So great work from Hades. He's 23 and 8 right now. He is having a fantastic game, and he's only going to keep on going. And despite taking a bit of damage there, I think from the scout, doesn't matter, as the numbers continue to dwindle on the side of B8. Wrinkles left alone with just a deagle. One little kill there comes in from the scout, but I mean, at this point, damage doesn't really mean a lot. There's a stable enough economy on that CT side, and they're very, very near that finish line.
It's that point again, isn't it, where suddenly money's not really the concern. It's the rounds that you just haven't posted, right? We've yet to see that T side post a round. We've yet to see them really break the defense. It's not like 9 have really required too many clutches either, which is what we saw a bit of on their first half on their T side. This time it's been very smooth. Very clean, very clinical. And with these rifles out, BA looking at last chance saloon very early on here. 7-round buffer for the CT side, and B8 know they got to change the picture. A little bit more proactive, a little swifter into the scaffold. They are going to start trying to work their way up. KEiiiii is on a tough old angle here. Smoke keeps him protected for now, but he's got multiple bodies looking for this kill as soon as it fades, and he knows it. Tucks in, tries to stay alive, waits for the flash. It is good for 1, and the double up. KEiiiii, an absolute monster again, gets an early double kill. Low on HP, sure, but he can retreat out as far as he wants at this point. There is nobody there to find the trade. Only now starting to work his way up into the angle. Will take a dink for his trouble as well as Minio continues to trade his teammates away. Finally, they put him down, and finally they buy themselves a little bit of space, but it's too little too late. Goofy, all the while, working his way through the backstab, gets 15 on the board. This is a clinic from 9.
Yeah, the CT side so much better than what we were getting on the offense, which again is surprising because I think they get like over 60% of their rounds normally on that T side. They're the more T-sided of these two teams. B8 though, on the other hand, I mean, their stats, they could be a little bit more misleading. They're not quite as strong on this map in general, so it can be hard to judge. And also the level of competition that they're against sometimes is quite as high. Hades this time will have a miss as he tries to peek down the ramp. Found success there multiple times. Again, it warns them off. It lets them know that 9 are willing to take these peaks, that you have to be constantly cautious of that coming through, so you can't just work in freely for map control. They will slowly work their way at least in towards the scaffolding, but again, you're cautious that KEiiiii might be a crazy corner.
Yeah, you're just so conscious of the possibilities, right? This CT side has been so clinical. There's the flashbang, there's the peak, there's the freebie. Hamster, at least this time, able to get one on the trade. Need a lot more where that came from, though. He's starting to work his way up the alley, and he has got half an angle here, but Hades is ready for it. So alive to the threat, quickly found. He's going to work his way back into the angle as well. Minio there, ready to deal with it. Smoke goes out, but Hades is continuing to lurk it through. Spam down. They know exactly where this is. Hades gets one. Amster does very well on the off angle, trades out Minio, and that makes it a little sketchy now. Amster waits the fading smoke out. If he can find Hades, this is on. The bomb is still down, and that's the concern, though, as Hades flicks on through for another. And Wrinkle is left 1v3. Surely an impossible nut to crack. He's still got to get the bomb off that ramp as well. 25 seconds on the clock. Hades ready and waiting for this exact play. Just worked his way into the angle, which might start to play in Wrinkle's favor, but it won't. Simple stuff, executed brutally. A flawless CT side to shut it out from 9. And that is, well, let's be blunt, that is a hell of a performance from them to get that one shut out in the way they did.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it was going to remain competitive. It was neck and neck, A7 at the halftime. We had seen